Welcome to your monthly focus, February 2020. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, Tilly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. Now, February 2020 carries a 6 energy with it, so we will be looking at our routines, our health and well being collectively. Also, 6 is the universal number for love. So we'll be growing relationships, falling in love with things, following our passions, stepping into our passions, our love for ourselves, for other people, for the things that we want in our life. Absolutely. Some of the things that will be happening for the month of February when we look at the astrology, Mercury. Well, we start off with the sun in Aquarius. So we're looking for the unique, the different, the new, the original, and how to bring that into our lives in one way or another. We'll find out as we hit the cards. Mercury goes into Pisces on February, I think the 3rd, followed by Venus moving into Aries. So Mercury going into Pisces, it's kind of we can kind of get dreamy in our talk, in what we want. It's a beautiful time to have that conversation with yourself of seeing the potential of your tomorrow and where you can grow it. It can bring magic to our words, almost a spirituality in our flow of how we talk, of what we do in order to go forward. So we could be a little bit more creative with our dream, our desires. Venus going into Aries, it wants love, it wants it now, it wants it exciting, it wants it new. We're kind of the warrior in love. We want to change it and make it sparkle, and it's like new love, new beginnings, new starts. So we're looking for the new experiences. We're looking to be wowed, to be swept off our feet. And so we also need to look at how to sweep somebody off their feet and show them love as well. We have the full moon then in Leo at 20 degrees. I believe our full moon for our eclipse, our lunar eclipse, was at 20 degrees as well. So there's a pattern here that we have to pay attention to, that it really attaches to that energy. So if you need to review that video of the lunar eclipse, then by all means, please go back. I think January the 10th. That doesn't sound right. Maybe. Around January the 10th, look for one of my videos, scroll through the specials perhaps, and you'll be able to visit back to that energy and how it portrays in this energy going forward, how we are growing, stepping into that energy at a different level. Mars, I believe, then moves into Capricorn. So when Mars moves into Capricorn, we become a little bit more strategic. We want to do the steps. We want to follow through. We want to have the order. We want to be successful the first time around. Then we'll have Mercury going retrograde, although from the beginning of February all to this point of February 16th, we will be in shadow. So we will be revisiting this part of our walk with Mercury during this time, and coming back stronger and more knowledgeable than ever before. The sun will then move into Pisces, so happy birthday, Pisces. I think right after that, shortly after that, we've got Saturn and Neptune talking together in a very harmonious way. So the dreams, be careful not to get caught up in the illusions. We want the expansion of our dreams, of our spirituality. It will all be exploding inside of us. So it'll be a very magical, spiritual time for us. And then we will enter the new moon in Pisces at 4 degrees. And if you remember way back in December 26th, when we had the solar eclipse, it was at 4 degrees. Our last new moon was at 4 degrees. And now here we are with this moon at 4 degrees on February the 23rd. And I believe believe that is an 11 energy with the numerology. So before we get any further and we turn to the cards, remember, I do love you. Welcome, Libra. Let's get right to the cards, shall we? I'll give them a cut. And what does February hold for you? How beautiful is this? This is the Nine of Cups. This is Milo. Yes, hello, Milo. This is the Nine of Cups. This is your wish card. This is your dreams. Oh, you're on fire with, this is the month. This is the month to make the to-do list. This is the month to really figure out how you're going to get to where you're going. This is bringing in the dream, manifesting it into your life. Absolutely. It is your first card. So February should be magical. Things should happen in your life that move you forward without you even expecting it at times. So keep positive thoughts. Take time to dream. Stand in that Superman pose. Okay? Feel that cape fluttering behind you. Look forward and imagine your day unfolding just the way you want it to happen. Or maybe it's your week in advance, your month in advance, your year in advance. But do that. Take the time for you. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Whatever you feel that you can fit in to talk about your dreams and your. This card says that yes, the magician is nearby and wanting to make your wish come true. And what do you have to do? What do you and start doing those little things that, well, when my life changes, I'll have to get up at 7 a.m. So I better start getting up at 7 a.m. now, because I got to be ready for everything changing in my life. Where I want to go, I want to be able to exercise at least 10 minutes in the morning. So you know what? I'm going to start exercising this week for just 5 minutes in the morning, just to start getting me going, to prepare myself for that 10 minutes that I want to dedicate to my life going forward. I get little things like that. Like, you see the really big picture and you see yourself complete, and you see, well, I don't do that now, and I don't do that, and I don't have that, and this is non-existent. And so what happens is your brain obviously says that's not our life. But what you do is you take parts of it then and you incorporate it into a meditation, into a quiet time of contemplation for yourself, and say, okay, there's that one item within that picture that I'm going to make true, and I'm going to start to put it into place in somehow, some way, going forward, and making those commitments to yourself. I think you'll be you'll be amazing, really. We have the Ace of Wands, wanting to know how to bring in harmony and balance into our life, right? To feel the balance. And how do we bring this in? Now, you might be feeling the balance more than usual, or the harmony, but I think that you really want to see it, have something tangible that's saying it's there, that it's real. It's kind of feeling this this balance. I think you're a little bit more open to changing parts of your life right now in order to bring in the balance. That could very well be with those two cards together. So changing up your routine, your diet, perhaps your health and well-being, and how your sleep patterns, whatever it is that you want to incorporate into your life, because you see it down the road in the big picture. Yeah, it's only this much of the picture, right? Where's the bottom here, right? It's only that much right now that you want to fix. Don't worry about the rest of it. And you'll start to see how you can incorporate more and more. And the more and more you start to incorporate, the more you actually see a parallel between what you're seeing down the road and what you're doing now. And don't worry, there'll be times to up your game and whatnot. But you want to get certain practices into place, some new experiences, but just in your mundane, regular routines and what you do, and maybe how you interact with people, maybe the environments you put yourself into on a daily basis. And where does that need to change, or where does it need to flow a little better? Knight of Wands. Well, I thought I was going to skip one of the signs with the Knight of Wands, but he seems to be the card of the month. He's deemed himself that by now. Maybe two signs have missed him so far, but I mean, he was all in the readings at the end, the daily readings at the end of January, right? So he was popping his head up there. This is, taking stock. This is taking a deep breath and thinking about where you are right at this moment and what's open and what's available to you, because we are going forward. But taking stock of the here and now and who you are and your talents and your abilities and how you can, and give thanks that you're in the here and now, that you are just ready to step into your dream life, really. Wow. But you're also asking for, this is a month to really talk to God, your angels, your spirit guides, and ask them for help, ask them for assistance, ask them for knowledge in your path forward. Absolutely. The Page of Wands. Really, maybe you just lost your job, maybe you just moved houses or apartments or towns or countries. Maybe you're preparing to go away for education or travel. But there's some part of your life this month especially where the slate is wiped clean. I got that for another sign. I saw the blackboard. It's just a blackboard. It's a clean blackboard. It's like your blackboard. The other one needed a little bit of wiping off, but yours is black. It's like it's brand new. You can write anything on there. There is nothing like no little, how sometimes it got worn in after a while and the chalk didn't come out. I'm dating myself. Yeah. One of the punishments when I went to school was cleaning the brushes. So, this is, opening up the new experience for yourself. Just that anything is possible. Now, will it just magically appear? No, I think there's a lot of work you have to do, maybe on the inner side of you, but also you're taking other things into account. You're looking at where there needs to be compromise in order to bring out the harmony that you want to experience. But it has a lot to do with the magic of your wish card. This is the wish card. This is hoping and wanting, and it depends on how much you use the energy this month, but it could be an incredible month if you just front of mind take some time to meditate, take some time to grow that dream, take some time to see and envision that dream, take some time to take away little golden nuggets from that big dream in what you can incorporate into today for this month. Two of Wands. You have been calling in something new, haven't you? Whether it's a relationship, a job, a way of being, maybe it's your whole routine, maybe it's your whole lifestyle. I don't know what it is, but you have been calling upon this. You have been calling it forth, trying to manifest it. And it's at the point now of everybody's sitting there going, okay, what do you want? Because we can't just tell us what are you trying to pull in. So maybe you need to be a little bit more specific about what it really looks like for the end game. And it should scare you, okay? So, because sometimes we see it and it's like, oh my goodness. It should scare you. Then you're dreaming big enough, okay? Anything less than that, you're not dreaming big enough. So you want that. Could I really? And right away, your inner voice will say, of course not. And then, we go on to something else. But try and stay with that picture just a second or two longer. And say, yes, I can. Even if you don't believe it, just say, yes, I could. What could I do today? You have a remarkable energy around you this month to fine tune that dream, that desire. Look at this. We have the Empress. It is about birth. It's about fertility. It's about growing. It's about stepping into new experiences, maybe new relationships. She's one of our highest intuitives in the deck. She's one of our highest diplomats in the deck. She thinks things through. She has a plan. She wants to create. This is divine. So this is, it could be more of love, of a growth of love or passion, and not necessarily towards a person. It could be your living arrangements. It could be just your environment. You want to make a more loving, more beautiful, more harmonious environment around you. That could very well be in getting to it. Maybe you've been talking about it for a while and it's time to, walk the walk. Create, begin, start anew. Get grounded in nature, absolutely. The more that you can spend time outside and breathing in, if you are in a climate where you can take off your socks and shoes and just ground yourself, and seriously, it works, okay? It definitely works. So, we are the first of generations to spend 90% of our time in the concrete jungle. We don't go outside. We don't walk barefoot. We don't feel the sun beaming down on us. We don't feel the ground under our feet. And that will give you energy. So get out there, go for a hike, stand out on your balcony for 2 minutes. I mean, do something to get you outside. Also, I would recommend for this month for you to watch like nature videos on YouTube. Maybe just with a beautiful music in the background. Maybe it's a waterfall. Maybe it's a walk through a forest. Maybe it's beautiful animals walking by a camera in the forest. Ground yourself in nature in some way to really give birth to those seeds that you want to plant this month, that you are planting this month. Knight of Cups. This is about romance, fun. This is about, if you're looking for a relationship, you could very well step into a new relationship, a loving relationship, maybe a new best friend, somebody to really laugh with, to share your time with, your stories with, your adventures with, to adventure with. This could be stepping into a new form of career or getting creative. Maybe you are going to start painting or writing again. Maybe you feel more of a balance, that you can allow that flow to move you forward. For work and career, we have the Moon. My goodness. Work has to be, I don't know, or it is going to be very liberating for you. Something that you do, something that you work at, maybe it's in the community, something that you do, maybe it is at work, maybe it is your own home-based business, but something when it comes to work and career, if you are really honoring the inner you, what makes you happy, what brings you balance, what brings you joy, what lets your inner child out, what makes your inner child jump out of you. You don't have any control over your inner child. It takes over because of the passion and the joy that you are feeling in what you are doing. And so that is incredibly important this month, to find something, even if it's just going into the community and taking a little course or a workshop to just get you motivated into that direction of something that you really love doing, that really motivates you and moves you. But it really is attached to who you are. It's also very much attached to what you do. Okay, and really feeling that inner balance, that confidence coming out in you. And I think you do have that confidence and that independence already inside of you, more so than maybe usually for yourself, that you're feeling like you've got this, you've got things under control, you're feeling good about what you're doing. It's bringing you some satisfaction, some kind of joy. Love and relationships, look at this. If you're not in a relationship, this is a time where you can meet somebody who will just change your world completely, rock your boat. I mean, tell it, it would be like it. This is really a card telling us that all of our past relationship experiences come into the relationships that we are experiencing at the present time. We have grown through it. We have tapped into the lesson of each relationship, and somehow we can apply it to the relationship that is new and exciting that we're stepping into, the relationship that we already have in place, and growing it to it's like a new, not a new path, but a new path, a culmination of all the paths that maybe even both of you have walked. And there's this wisdom that comes with this relationship that you're in. Now, this could be a best friend. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be very platonic, but it's somebody close to your heart. Or it could be somebody brand new that comes in. I'm thinking more so it's somebody brand new. So if you're already in a very committed relationship with somebody, a new best friend could enter your life right about now. Okay? But it really takes you on a journey. And I kind of get this almost tied in with um, the work and the career, and life is really changing for you. And you should be very excited about this month and where it could place you by the end of the month. You're ready to take the next step within the relationship. You're ready to take the next step into a relationship. There's passion, definitely passion attached to this card. So it could be raising the passion or reigniting the passion. And it's something new. It's at a new level of growth, or it is a new experience altogether. And somehow the wisdom blends into a whole new knowing of each other on a deeper personal level. Oh, we have the Tower card. I don't think it's in a bad placement. I think actually this is a very good placement. If you're not changing up your routine or adding some new things in that aligns with where you want to go or what you want to become or who you want to be or who you want to be with for that matter, then the universe, God, your angels, your spirit guides are going to make sure that you get on that path by the end of the month. So either you do it or they'll do it for you. And trust me, it's a lot harder when they pick out the route. It's usually something that you have ignored or you've pushed back, and you don't want to start. You don't want to start waking up at 7, because why, right? Your brain is telling you why do you want to get up at 7? Pretty soon you're gonna have to get up at 7 every day. So why do you want to set your alarm clock now when you can still be sleeping in? Like, really, why do you want to deprive yourself? And your mind will do these things to you. Okay, so you have to be very adamant. No, I'm doing it. That's what it is in the picture going forward. So that's what I'm going to start incorporating into my life now. So, end of subject. We're waking up at 7. And we're going to do this as soon as we wake up. Have a secondary thing, like you've already gotten out of bed. There's already something else to do. Okay, and it might be just stand up straight. Okay, but find something to motivate yourself for that second step to already be in place. Because sometimes when we say, oh, I'm going to get up at 7, well, you wake up and it's 7, and it's like, well, there's nothing to do because normally I wouldn't be getting up till 8:30. So maybe I'll just reset the alarm clock and go back to sleep, because you don't have a secondary thing to do. So you have to move your your discipline into 2 or 3 small steps in order to make that first step a reality. But when the Tower card is here, this could also be something that really you become aware of, that you had no idea of. Maybe it was a wall you had up. Maybe it was a so-called friend you thought was a friend is not a friend anymore, although I don't see anything like that here. I'm just trying to come up with examples. Really seeing somebody for who they are. Maybe you have been turning a blind eye. Maybe you have been only wanting to see certain things. And that could be a negative, or that could be a positive. That could be you didn't want to see those things because you didn't want to give of yourself anymore in the relationship. You knew they were wonderful, but you were trying to downplay it as much as you could so that you wouldn't get too attached, so you could keep it casual, so you could keep it simple and plain. So that could be, that could be the wall, right, as well, and growing that relationship, taking that step forward in that relationship, feeling the energy of love and passion and joy and togetherness, very much so. But I think you've got to rock your own boat here. You've got to change some things in your path in order to bring up in your everyday routine. Not necessarily it's your path, but your mundane, and do those little things in order to really start to raise the energy of what you have this for the starter card, to raise your energy. So start doing little things, or the universe, God, your angels are going to make it so that you have to. Okay, so take control of it as much as you can, and know that anything that does happen to you is there for your greater good, to get you on track. Okay, so, and we have the Hierophant. So be smart. Tap into your sage wisdom of what is best for you. Health, well-being, your daily routines. I get that very strongly, because this is your health and well-being area on the board. To feel more in balance, create the balance. Look at the waters here, but I get it almost as and I don't think it's painted as it's more of a fog coming up, but I get it as a still water. That you have the power to still your own waters around you in order to bring in that balance. So full moon for you will be in your 11th house, so it could be about a lot of people. I didn't even kind of go there. Full moon will be in your 11th house, so that is people, that's being unique, that is liberation, being unique. Groups of people, friendships, friends, large gatherings, absolutely. That could all play a role, obviously. But I think it's the things that you want to move away from rather than moving towards. With a full moon, we are completing, we are ending, we are healing from. Okay, so if you lost your job and you missed the large corporation, all the people to say hello to, and you've got a new job and there's one person in front of you, it is a little bit of a shell shock in transitioning into things like that. Okay, so to let it go, to move forward in new directions with new groups of people. The people that raise you up, the people that give you energy, the people that love you most. And the new moon will be in your 6th house, so that is love and relationships, absolutely. It could also be your health and well-being. It could also be your routine. 6 does stand for that as well. So you could be deciding a whole bunch of new things, maybe more so towards the end of the month, or maybe how to elaborate on those little goals that you're setting for yourself. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.